What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to Dungeon Defenders 2. Today, I wanted to do a little bit of a comparison to see exactly what is more powerful, Shards or Ascension, where, Ascension is a level that you see in the game. As with most games out there, most folks are going to see the level and say, okay, if I increase the level, I'm going to get more power. However, we all know that shards play an important role in the game, and just kind of want to do a side-by-side comparison as far as raw power and what you get from each. Now, of course, every defense is going to be different, and every defense reacts differently, whether it be single target, an AoE defense, whatever the case is. For just the sake of this comparison, I'm going to be using Flame Auras, and I've got no Ancient Power assigned, so all of my Ancient Power has been refunded. I currently have no Ascension at all assigned, so 0 Ascension total. And I'm going to use this Relic. Now, I'm using this Relic for the comparison because it has no mods that are going to directly affect the tooltip DPS. Tenacity, Defense Range, and Go Boo Boom, of course, are going to have no effect at all on how hard the tower itself hits when just comparing tooltip to tooltip damage per second. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, first things first, just the aura alone, with no Ancient Power, no Ascension, and no Shards, doesn't do a whole lot. 87.6 thousand tooltip DPS. We see it's attacking once every 1.25 seconds for 106,000 damage each attack, so just raw with nothing in there. We're not getting a whole lot of power out of it. 86,000 damage per second, not spectacular. Now, I want to compare these on several notes, as of course we know that first off, Ascension, the base Ascension does have caps, and then with Shards, there are regular and ungilded Shards. So first things first, let's start off with just regular old Shards. We're going to go with Destruction, Defense Rate, and then the third obvious shard you would use here is Defense Range or Deadly Strikes. However, for the sake of this argument, we're going to go full power, and I'm going to use Vampiric Empowerment as the third. Now, I didn't want to get any Hyper Shards in the mix. I wanted just raw basics. Straight up Shards versus Ascension. Nothing fancy other than Gilded Shards and then Ascension at the cap. So with just regular Destruction, Defense Rate, and Vampiric, we can now see that that Flame Aura is jacked up to 205,000 damage per second. It's hitting every 0.84 seconds for 167,000 damage, has a 10% chance to crit for an additional 30% damage on top of that. So 205,000 damage per second with just regular Shards and no Ascension. Now, if we go ahead and get rid of those regular Shards, and let's pop in gilded versions of the same thing. So we've got Destruction, Defense Rate, and Vampiric. And we take a look at it there now, and it is now 257,000 damage per second, hitting every 0.74 seconds for 184,000 damage. So much nicer, no doubt about it. Getting 256 or 257k out of it, and we're seeing some very nice sizable increases. Now, however, let's go ahead and get the Shards out of the picture altogether, and let's focus on the Ascension. Now, first things first, without using any Ancient Power, we know your Ascension caps are 140, so you can't go higher than 140 points into Flame Aura damage. So if we've got just the 140 points in each category, now granted, you will get more power if you are using Vampiric and you put points into Flame Aura health as well. We're just going to go just with the basic 140 as if it was a player that had 420 total Ascension. So taking a look at that, we've got 140 in each category, so we'd want to go 20 points into Defense Crit Chance, 20 points into Defense Crit Damage, and let's be completely fair here, as we all know the next best place to go would without a doubt be into the Flame Aura range gambit. Now, if I really wanted to do just raw power side-by-side comparison, I wouldn't put these points in here. However, I'm going to go ahead and drop those 50 points in as that is just the most realistic place to put them. Now, with this in mind, we've got, what, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 points into the utility category. Let's go ahead and put 140 points into the defense category. Now, actually, I misspoke there. Instead of going 140, I am going to put 140 directly into defense power, but I am also going to take the defense speed. So it would be more along the lines of someone with 480 Ascension. So we're going to put the 20 points into defense speed, and then we'll go with 140 points right into the Flame Aura power. Now, this is where you would be at with no ancient power at 480 Ascension. This is the setup that you'd want to use. Now, when we take a look at it, our Flame Aura has got 154,000 damage per second. Now, that is less than just the regular Shards Ungilded. Now it makes me wonder what it would be like if I didn't put those points in the range gambit. Now obviously you would put the points in the range gambit, however, let's just pretend we're going just raw power, not looking at anything else, and I'm not going to put those points in. Then we would have the 20 points here, we would have the 140 points into the Flame Aura damage, and then now we're going to look and see that Flame Aura is 158,000 damage per second. It's hitting every 0.81 seconds for 111,000 damage, coming up with 158k. So, not spectacular. Still substantially less than just the shards alone, and it would lead me to believe that just with a defense rate, a destruction, and a vampiric, it is going to give you more overall power than having 480 Ascension points. Now let's go ahead and take it one step further, as we do know ancient power is a thing, and we do know the caps go all the way to the roof. So, let's go ahead and jack these bad boys up and see how it compares then. So if we get back to our Ascension, and I'm still not going to do anything with that Flame Aura range gambit. I'm going to leave those points out so we don't get the reduction in defense power. And I'm going to take this all the way up to 999. Now, this obviously would require, having over 3,000 Ascension to get yourself to this point. And if we take a peek at the Flame Auras then, we see a nice jump up to 206,000, which at 999 Ascension points, this is the same thing. It's only 1,000 DPS higher, as far as tooltip DPS, than the regular Ungilded Shards. Just to give you an idea and show you how strong Shards are in the game, Shards by far are more powerful than Ancient Power. They are more powerful than Ascension. Shards are the building block of the game, and it's so important to make sure you have the correct Shards in slot. We see with those 999 points into the Ascension of the Flame Aura, we're hitting every 0.81 seconds, 146,000 damage. Not spectacular by any means. Now, obviously, you want the best of both worlds. You want to get all the stuff in there. If you're going to maximize your power, you don't want to ignore one category or the other. You want to embrace them all. So you would want to go ahead and have those Gilded Shards plus that Ascension. So, of course, once you throw those Gilded Destruction, Defense Rate, and Vamp in there, plus your Ascension, that's going to take it up substantially, and we're going to get the best of both worlds and really be able to get the job done here. However, just a quick look at Shards, to be honest with you, I didn't do this ahead of time, and I really thought that the 999 was going to be way more. So I'm kind of surprised that 999 Ascension comes out to the exact same power gain as just the Shards. Now remember, these do play off each other, where more Ascension means the Shards have more of a defense power number to work off of. So, you know, the best of both worlds does it all. Get the Shards, get the Ancient Power, and get the job done properly by using everything first. However, first step in the game for any new player should always be getting the correct Shards per slot to make sure you're maximizing your full potential. So that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I will be back soon with more Dungeon Defenders 2. I will see you then. Take it easy.